I originally started in a group called Society for Creative Anachronism. I spent about 7 or 8 years there, and SCA just didn't sit well with me. It was very political. It was very much about social climbing, in my opinion. And there was just a lot of things about the SCA I didn't like. I didn't feel welcome at the SCA. I really wanted something where I felt a brotherhood with other members. So basically what I did with a friend of mine, Brahm, we decided to form a group based on boffer fighting called the Fellowship. The weapons were made out of duct tape and PVC and a camping mat. It went well for a little while. I started a group out of the Indiana University of Pennsylvania, and we had probably about 20 members join up right away.
Fellowship was an idea that was thought up by a friend, by Nick and I, because we enjoyed the boffer fighting aspect of some of the other groups we were in. We wanted to make weapons that were more realistic looking, so we came up with a design of a boffer that looked more like an actual sword, and we try to take some of the concepts of some of the other groups we were a member of and combine them together to make a more enjoyable experience for us that we thought other people would enjoy as well. So basically the Fellowship was just what it sounds like, friends getting together who enjoyed fighting with swords, Lord of the Rings and all that fantasy stuff, to come together and have a good time. So it was a fellowship.
I met up with Arajuan, actually. I first heard about the fellowship through a LiveJournal community through IUP. I had previously gone to a different school that had some involvement in the SCA, and I was always really interested in the Renaissance and the fighting and the battles. So I was really excited whenever someone made a post on IUP's LiveJournal group about the fact that they wanted to start a boffer group here at IUP. And that's actually how I ended up meeting Arajuan for the first time.
When the fellowship started, it was my first time out in a large group of sword fighters, and I remember the second practice was my first practice there. I couldn't make it the first week, and there were about 20 people out. It was crazy. We were making weapons in the oak grove on campus, and then we started fighting, and I was horrible. But there was just so much fun just to be out there in a group of people who shared my interest with sword fighting. And unfortunately, as time went on, the fellowship just started to fall apart, be it for work reasons. People couldn't make it. I know I, for one, was one of the people who couldn't make it every week. And over the summer, there were about 3 regular members out there at practice. I remember Nicky, or Rajuan as he goes by now, calling me and saying that he was sitting on the steps of Waller Hall for an hour now waiting for someone to show up in the rain. But eventually it just kind of melted down into a core of fighters that carried over into what we do now today with Dagorhir. So I mean, while it was a really great start to what we do, really, I really give a lot of our beginnings to the fellowship, and I think without it being as big and as exhilarating as it was at first, we wouldn't be where we are today with Maethodoron.
This is going to be a marauder battle. What we have is we're going to have people inside this circle, and we have very small trenches, very, very narrow trenches. Only one person can go in at a time. And whoever's in there has to defend it. And if you're on the outside and you die, you come back to life and you go back and fight again.
We all ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready. Lay on.
Who isn't?
Oh, ready. Battle.
Fred! Fred!
Here, so I got an idea. I'll pick up. Okay.
He's like, Jesus.
I can walk on.
That's why I kind of just fell on you. Oh, shit.
Get out. You're alive, right?
Yes.
Carl, turn around. Just take grass.
Hey, Aaron.
2 defenders and all of us. That stinks. Get around.
The idea for a Dagorhir group came to me when I started talking to some Dagorhir members. I met them at a local campus group, and we started talking about Dagorhir versus what we do at campus, because we were always promoting to try to pull people to come out more and more and more every day. So I started talking to them about Dagorhir, and I looked into the Dagorhir rules a little bit. I really liked the rules. There wasn't much different. The major difference between what we did in the fellowship and Dagorhir was weapon construction and safety. So I just really decided that I think with the few people that we had, we were really able to make that leap into a different organization, into really kind of forwarding ourselves with a larger group, because it was the same 3 to 6 people every week. We all had ambitions to get better, but you really can't improve when you're fighting the same people over and over again. So we decided, as a whole really, that it was time to try to start accepting a little bit more of a group tradition, I guess, with Dagorhir, instead of just keeping it to our own little rule set, because of the large battles that we could go to, and just the vast amount of people who were all interested in the same thing we were.
Dagorhir is really fun. Maethodoron really seems to be a good group. We've got a nice core group of people. We're setting up a good event. It's a quality place. We're setting up a battleground for us. It's pretty good.
You're actually going first. Okay, I'm going first. Why do I get to go first? Wait a minute, 2 reds. Well, we can't really advance past this point, so.
Yeah, I think you're dead, Chris.
Yeah, red.
Let him take him out. As many as you can.
Dead.
So, what's your take on all this fighting?
It looks more difficult than in the movies.
Red. Good for my arm and I'm dead. Hit him! Someone hit him! Red. Good.
I'm Cheryl Medley, also Gilthonia Lindowa, and I'm here with Maethodoron for our big winter event. Sword fighting is always awesome. I'm a big fan of company. We do a lot of music, dancing, things of that nature. We sew, make garb. I've always been into reading fantasy books and watching historical movies, and so it's just always appealed to me. So it's cool. I saw him in the Oak Grove one day, and I went over and was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And they roped me in.
Name's Eris. I go by Darren here. I joined up this year. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot involved in being here, making your own weapons. Just the practices, meeting new people. Probably one of the most diverse groups on the campus right now, at least in my opinion. You got people from every walk of life out there fighting each other, having fun. This took about 3 days to build, and it's been a constant remake. Every so often needs to be repadded, get the stuff off. It's
So,
a lot
what's
of work.
it for?
This is mainly a shield breaking unit. You go in there with, this thing is more, well, it's more of a suicide weapon. When you use this, you're going to die, but you only have one purpose, it's to break the other guy's shield. And if it gets down to it, 1 hit kills a guy in the chest, breaks arms, 1 hit. I can't think of a better weapon to hold.